Hi guys, I'm Jen Jones. Welcome back to the channel. Today's tutorial is going to be how to make a cookie mountain on top of a chocolate chip cookie dough cake. Now, if you are already subscribed to the channel or you follow me on social media, you'll know that I am down here in Los Angeles. We've been filming some live streams, so make sure you check those out both on YouTube and on Facebook. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this cake. Let's get started on the tutorial. You're going to need two pre-baked cakes. We have an 8-inch round chocolate cake here. We have an 8-inch round vanilla cake. Now I've mixed in chocolate chips with both of these in case you want to have more of kind of like a cookie look. The link to them will be in the description box. Now for the buttercream, the chocolate chip cookie dough buttercream, we're going to be using 4 cups of icing sugar. I have 1 teaspoon of salt. We're going to need 1 1/3 cups of all-purpose flour. We're going to need 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. We need 1/4 cup of milk. Now you can use more milk if you want to have a thinner buttercream. We have 1 cup of brown sugar, and we're also going to need 1 full cup of butter. Make sure that it's nice and soft. And then for the buttercream, the last thing that we need is about 1 cup of mini tiny chocolate chips. Now what we're going to use for decoration, and we've got chocolate chunks in larger chippets. We've got M&Ms of like the larger ones and the smaller ones. I've got some chocolate ganache. And of course I have some chocolate chips here, or some chocolate chip cookies. These are the rainbow M&M variety. You can use your own homemade, but it's much easier just to use these ones. So let's get putting this together. So we're going to make the icing first. So I've got my butter in my bowl here. I'm going to add in the brown sugar. And then using a mixer, I'm just going to mix that until it's nice and light and creamy. So with the butter and sugar mixed together, I'm going to add in about half of my icing sugar mixture here. Or just my icing sugar, I guess I should say. Add that in. And then I'm going to also add in about half of the flour here. And just get that in there. And then about probably half of the milk as well. Just doing it all in half so that when you go to mix it in all together, you're not going to have like a big huge explosion. And I'm just going to put all the vanilla in right here. So when you put your mixer on and you've got all the liquid in there and all the powdered sugar, the liquid should help slow down the amount that the powder wants to like throw, like poof out of there. So I've got the salt in there too. Start it on low and mix it up. So we're going to add the rest of the icing sugar now that we've got that mixed in. Now don't be scared of using this flour. It absolutely makes the icing taste the way that it should as if it was actually a cookie. So I've got all the rest of that mixed in there. The flour gives it that delicious taste. I'm going to mix this up, and then I'll be back for putting in the chocolate chips. The last step for the buttercream is to add in the mini chocolate chips. If you want to use more, you can. That's kind of up to you. And just mix that in gently. So once we've got the buttercream made, I've got it in the piping bag, and I've got my chocolate cake here on the bottom, and I've got it on a really large board because I'm going to be putting cookies all around the outside. So I'm just going to pipe on this layer of buttercream here. So I'm just going around and just squeezing it on. So just squeeze until you get the whole top here covered. And the reason you're using mini chocolate chips is for the reason that you don't want to have the large chocolate chips blocking the inside of the bag here. So you're just going to smooth it on gently. You don't have to press it down very hard or anything like that. And I'm just going to go around like that. And then take your some of the cookies and put them in here. So it's they're going to soften while the cake is being assembled. So they'll be nice and easy to cut through. And then I'm going to put another one on the inside here. And then fill up any of these gaps with some M&Ms. And if you want to, you can even put another layer of buttercream on top of this layer. That's up to you. And then I'm just going to slice and make sure that my vanilla layer is leveled. And then I'll be back to put it on top of this one. So now we're going to put the leveled vanilla one on top here like that. And then you're going to cover the whole entire cake in this chocolate chip cookie dough buttercream. So once I get the whole thing covered, I will be back to show you the next step. Once we have the sides of the cake covered in the buttercream, we're going to take some chunks of our chocolate chip cookies and we're going to press them into the bottom here. I'm going to start out with like the larger chunks here, and then I'm going to work my way up using the pieces of chocolate. So after I've got the cookies in there, I'm going to go with the chocolate chunks. And then above the chocolate chunks, I'm going to add the chocolate chips. So those are the regular size chips. And what it's going to do is kind of gradually decrease in size till we're left with only the little mini chippets that we have in the actual buttercream itself. So we're just kind of going from decorating the sides using the chocolate chip cookies and the chocolate chunks and the chippets. Once you've got the chocolate chips and the cookies all laid out there, you can put some of the M&Ms around the outside of the cake as well. It kind of adds a little bit more color. We're going to go to the top of the cake now, and I'm going to put on some of this ganache. I also want to save some of it to put into a piping bag in order to pipe on top of my cookie mountain. So just taking an offset spatula, and I'm just going to smooth it out to the edge, kind of going around like this. And I've got the cookies ready to go here on the board. You're going to need probably a full package for the top, maybe like half of a package at least. So I'm just going around using this offset spatula, smoothing it out as best as I can. I'm keeping it away from the edge, unlike normally if I was doing a drip cake, I'd be pushing it over the edge. I don't want it dripping and blending in with my chocolate chips and my border that I did at the bottom. So once I've got it like that, I'm going to take some of my cookies and I'm just going to start stacking them here all the way around. I'm going to, in between them, stack some M&Ms like I did on the inside of the cake. And so I'm just going to keep going and keep stacking these all the way up. And I'll come back about halfway through the stack to show you my progress. As my cookie tower starts to get higher, I'm going to start using ganache to kind of help the cookies stick here. So I'm just putting some ganache in between the cookies like that, and then I'm just continuing to stack. So when I'm stacking them, I'm just putting them kind of off center to where the other one was. And I'm just going to stick those guys together and then put a ring around up here to get that stuck together. If there's any extra ganache that's seen through, that's no problem at all because you're going to be drizzling this ganache all over the top. So the final cookie on the top up there on my mountain, then I'm going to take the ganache and I'm going to just squeeze it all over the top here, going all different ways. You can go back and forth, give it that total chocolate covered look. And then we're going to take mostly our mini M&Ms, I'm trying to sort through my finger, and drop the mini M&Ms onto the stack here. So that's how you make our chocolate cookie mountain on top of a chocolate chip cookie dough cake. I'm going to cover the cake board in cookies, and I'm going to also slice the cake open so you guys can see the different layers inside. So there you go, everybody, how to make this delicious 3 different layered chocolate chip cookie dough cake complete with a cookie mountain on top. Like I was saying at the beginning, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so, and check out all of our social media sites, also linked in the description box. I'm now on Snapchat, so add me, Cupcakes and Cardio. Talk to you guys soon. See you later.